Hello everyone, this is Bryant with sfotsource.com, your premier guide to Six Flags over Texas. We've made it back. It is mid-December and it is actually chilly outside. I think the feels like temperature is like 35, 34. It's pretty brisk, but you know, just like the whole year, there is so much stuff going on. So we wanted to take some time to actually walk through the park and show you everything that they've been working on. Building, repairs, things like that, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, the park announced not too long ago that they will be taking a brief hiatus, closing at the beginning of January and then reopening at the end of February because they want to keep working on all of the improvements that they have slated for the park's 65th anniversary. So, in my opinion, more power to them. If you want to close to improve the park and make it better, then by all means, that sounds great. Of course, you probably can see behind me, there's something starting to creep up in the air. So we'll look at Tormenta Rampaging Run and the construction updates with that. It looks like it's about to be topped off, so probably this upcoming week, you can expect that. But, you know, like I said, lots of super exciting things going on at the park. Let's head inside. Wanted to do some kind of far away shots of the Tormenta construction for you because it gives you a better scope of what's going on, but they've actually built out the bottom of the first drop that curves up, and then you can see the piece that they have put up here is the curve. So we're the curve off of kind of that platform that holds you there, so we're really close to being topped out. Of course, this is kind of how you put these coasters together. You build that first drop, build the lift hill, and then meet at the top. So very exciting times. We're getting there. We're about to have the tallest point of this ride finished, and it'll be the tallest coaster in Texas. So yeah, you will see staged right here at the base of the crane is that segment of track that will kind of dangle you over the edge. So it looks like sometime this week they're probably going to be lifting that bad boy up and putting the rest of this together maybe within the next week or two. I say next week like I know, but that's just my speculation. And then of course they'll have to build out the rest of the ride heading this way and then back this way. So earlier this year, La Cantina turned into Los Dulces Sweet Shop, and this is a really small thing, but they did upgrade the sign. It is now a 3D sign, and you know, just little tiny touches. Looks really nice. And you'll know what's next. Time to see if they have the mango pop. And of course, as you walk through the Mexico section, you just, oh my gosh, what is that? It's no big deal. Nothing to see here. So earlier this year, we got some refurbishment of Aserradero Flume 2. You'll notice that the construction wall is bumped all the way out. So they do have Flume 2 closed for the Spain construction, but I don't know why you'd ride that right now anyways. It's freezing outside. And as you head into Texas, pretty much no matter which way you go, you run into construction projects. But here at Courthouse Stage, they have done a lot of work to the outside. Looks like they're still working on trim, but they replaced all of this wood that's the siding, and they are in process of repainting it. So crazy. Heading past Courthouse Stage, you have more of these western facades. These have all been refreshed down to the corner here, and I think even around the corner. We'll take a look, but man, lots of stuff. I don't know if that's the final color of that building, but that building there looks like that's probably the final color of that. And yeah, on the other corner of these Texas facades, this has definitely been touched for sure. Also, there's a gigantic roller coaster behind here. That's kind of crazy, huh? I think the taco bar might be the only thing for now that hasn't been touched, but you come across and Cinnabon has gotten the treatment. The sign is down. I assume the sign will go back up. It's still open as Cinnabon. And then over here at Sugar Shack, Candy Sweets, look at that. Brand new sign, nice and punchy. Way better looking than what was there. But of course, the building itself, the whole storefront's been kind of redone. All fresh wood. Uh-oh. We missed cinnamon roll time. And we did point out that Flume 2 is closed due to Spain construction, but Flume 1 is also being completely refurbished, so we'll walk around and see if there's any sign of that as well. Also, Casa Magnetica is still open like it was during the Halloween season. As we head over the bridge into the Lower Texas section, I've noticed a whole new landscaping build here next to the entrance of Log Flume. Wow. And then lots of fresh wood. We'll try to get a better shot because the sun is not our friend today. But fresh wood all along this bridge and the pathways that way. Man, it's looking really good over here. Like I said, the sun is definitely not our friend today, but they have gotten a lot of stuff done here on Flume 1. Looks like the trough's been freshly painted. They've cleaned up a lot of the landscaping and shrubbery down here. And then, of course, the new fencing that goes along. And then that little landscaped area over there is what we were just looking at. Here next to Boot Scootin'. I don't know is anyone old enough to remember when this was a Wax Hands building? It looks like this Wax Hands building has been completely re-sided, repainted, and then you swing over to Bubba's Hot Dogs. The sun is not going to be nice, but this has also gotten that same treatment. And so here's a little bit of a better look at Bubba's Hot Dogs, looking nice and fresh. Man, this whole area is just glowing up, as the kids would say. So you've got E.G. Sugar Waters right here, which was refreshed earlier this year. Across the way, which was, when I was a kid, was a glass blowing store with real glass blowers. I think it was other things before my time, but it is the Western Arcade building now. It is getting fully renovated, all new siding, and it is in process right now. So we're seeing the magic happen. And going over to the front of this Western Arcade building, you can see just what several years of neglect looks like, but currently the park is working on getting all of this fixed. Across from the exit to Pirates of Spelunker Cave, you have this gazebo. And this gazebo was part of the entrance to the old Lone Star Theater that used to be here. They've replaced all of the wood down low. And I guess they will probably be doing the roof at some point, but it's kind of crazy because it's like everything below holding it up is brand new. Everything above it is old. That must have been a tricky project. As we wrap our way towards the tower section, you have Texas Gifts. And let me tell you, Texas Gifts has seen quite a makeover. Brand new railing, brand new siding, brand new paint. Oh my. Is that how the saying goes? Just another building that's been completely transformed. I did want to discuss the brand new Six Flags app with y'all because it kind of seems like they're starting to get things worked out. But a couple of important things to point out is if you want to order food and you want to check ride wait times, you do have to be in the park. So you can do that when you're in the parks. Oh. So if I go here and I look around, you'll see wait times. It's not particularly the most intuitive thing, but it does give you quite a bit of information. I do wish it wasn't completely based off of a map, just because it would be nice to see just a list and not have to fight with this, but you'll notice that if anybody has mobile ordering set up, it looks like there's no mobile ordering set up in the app yet, but it looks like you'll be able to do that as well once that's activated. So we'll keep a lookout. This area changed once I got into the park. So this flash pass, this order food thing, click here, it'll let you buy those one-shot flash passes, which I assume once they switch over to Fastlane, that might be gone, but we'll have to wait and see. But here it is. Like it or not, things are changing. All of the parks are finally coming together. Some TLC going on with Runaway Mine Train as we head towards Boomtown. The final tunnel drop. You can see he's got a little refresh, brand new roof there. But that's not the only thing that's been going on at this ride. I'll try to get a better view of the Ace Motel and Saloon back there. And so that motel and saloon that you go through on the final drop has been completely made over. Brand new siding, brand new paint, you name it. And I think the inside's going to get a refresh at some point as well, but the ride is not operating right now. The train's not operating, so you're going to have to use your imagination for what that looks like, or you'll have to ride Runaway Mine Train on your next visit. Also out here, which I feel like has been this way for a minute, but brand new landscaping looks along the side here. Keeps the sight lines nice and open so you can actually see this ride and what it does. You can see the tunnel, the train coming out of the underground tunnel. The Six Flags Railroad may be closed for construction, but that doesn't mean they haven't done a crazy amount of refresh over here at Boomtown Depot. Lots of new wood, completely new deck up there. It looks like you can see the tags on the pieces of wood, new railing, everything. It's going to be nice and fresh when the railroad returns to us next year. We have ventured over into Gotham City, where a little bit of our showing you stuff luck is going to run out, but Batman's queue has gotten a huge makeover, and that's kind of been ongoing for the past few months, but Batman's lift hill chain's actually broken, so they have to get a new lift hill chain, so it is not open right now. They do have signage everywhere, but if you follow along on social media, you've probably seen some posts. They are revamping the queue of Mr. Freeze. They've also repaired all of the neon on the entrance facade here. Looks like they've got some other things going on out here that they're working on, but it is closed because of how cold it is. The irony of Mr. Freeze is it can't operate at all when it's cold. So, but this queue is set to be finished next year, so a little bit of time to wait on that, but it's already looking really good. Also here in Gotham City, where the heck did Gotham City stage go? That's insane to see that just completely removed. Curious to see if that's going to pop up somewhere else, but I mean, not a bad call, because this would get really super choked in terms of traffic when you did have a show over here. We ventured up over near the entrance to Judge Roy Scream just to check out Majestic Theater, which has all of its neon working for the first time in quite a while, so maybe we could get a show in here at some point too. That would be pretty sweet, you know what I'm saying? Hint, hint. Alright, we have one more little cluster to show you that's kind of on the Smith Street, Texas side of the park, so we'll head back over there. We're coming up on Smith Street, and this is what the Johnson Creek Schoolhouse is looking like these days. I know it's dark, but a lot like the other buildings, the trim, the siding, all of the wood has been touched up on, refreshed, repainted. Smith Street is definitely a hopping place during Holiday in the Park. That's where a lot of your activities are, but the old Heroes gift shop, which is the cookie kitchen, the Christmas time keepsakes, which I've never ever seen that open in my lifetime, and this building here, which is currently Santa's picture location. These have all been refurbished inside and out, and you can see a little bit of that in our first Holiday in the Park video of the year, where we go in and check out those attractions. But just crazy amounts of stuff going on out here. All right, everyone, that does it for this look at everything going on around the park. I know it's kind of taken us a minute to get to this stuff, but my gosh, it's crazy to see the amount of work going on. I mean, we're talking like a couple decades worth of preventative maintenance all happening at once, and you know, it's really good to see. It's really good to see the original areas restored, and I'm excited to see kind of what they have planned as we move towards 2026 65th anniversary, because you know, if they're going to close for 2 months, I assume that they've got some big plans that they want to knock out and achieve. Of course, we will try to stay up to date with everything going on. It's a lot, and we probably even missed some stuff. So if we missed some stuff, don't be shy. Let us know in the comments below. We also took pictures of everything, so make sure to follow our construction updates page. I do have that linked in the description below as well. If you have any questions about Six Flags Over Texas, make sure to let us know. Check out sfotsource.com. That is your premier guide to Six Flags Over Texas. We recently kind of did some reworking of the website. There's more filters, more ways to find things, more ways to search and pare down what you're looking for. So hopefully that helps you all as you're planning your visit to the park. We thank y'all for watching. Take care, and we'll see you at a theme park.